The auction block on Station Gamma 7 reeked of desperation and cleaning fluid. Akim stood with her head down. The sterility mark burned into her forearm, still raw and angry. In the colony worlds, a woman who couldn't bear children was worth less than scrap metal. Her own parents had made that calculation coldly, their shame greater than their love. Lot 47, the auctioneer droned. Human female, age 22, sterile but healthy otherwise. Good for labor, companionship. 500 credits. The voice cut through the crowd like a plasma torch. Akim looked up to see a human man pushing through the mass of buyers, mostly Krillian flesh traders and mining corporation representatives. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with grease stains on his worn jacket and what looked like purple fur clinging to his shoulder. "Sir, the bidding starts at 500 credits, Verk repeated, his dark eyes fixed on Akim. "Take it or I walk. And you explain to the station master why you're running an illegal human auction in his commercial sector." The auctioneer's face went pale. Money changed hands quickly after that. 20 minutes later, Akim found herself in the lower maintenance levels of the station, following this stranger through a maze of corridors. Her contract chip had been transferred to him. Legally, she belonged to Verk now, just as she'd belonged to her parents before. "This is it," Verk said, palming open a heavy door. "Home." Akim stepped inside and froze. The space was enormous, clearly a decommissioned hangar bay converted into living quarters. Half of it was workshop, filled with the gleaming hulls of ships in various states of repair. The other half was chaos. 4 small creatures came bounding across the floor, chittering in excitement. They looked like cats if cats had 6 legs, crystalline whiskers and fur that shifted colors with their emotions. Currently, all 4 were radiating excited yellows and oranges. "Akim, meet the kids," Verk said, and she heard something in his voice she hadn't expected. Warmth. "That's Nova, Comet, Stardust, and the little one trying to climb your leg is Nebula. They're Felixian cubs," Akim whispered, recognizing the species from before the war. "But the Felixians were wiped out, yeah." Verk's jaw tightened. "Found these 4 in an escape pod drifting near the outer rim. No adults, no colony ships in range. Just them." Nebula had successfully scaled Akim's pants and was now purring, a sound like wind chimes, from her shoulder. Against her will, Akim felt something warm unfurl in her chest. "Why did you buy me?" she asked. "If you needed labor, they were cheaper." "I didn't buy you," Verk interrupted. "I bought your contract so I could destroy it." He pulled out a small data chip, her ownership chip, and crushed it beneath his boot. "You're free. You can leave right now if you want. I'll even give you enough credits to book passage off station." Akim stared at the crushed chip, then at this strange man, then at the 4 alien cubs now investigating her with curious chirps. "I don't understand. When I was 14, the Krillians raided my colony, killed my parents, took everyone else to sell." Verk's voice was matter-of-fact, but his hands clenched. "A human captain named Sarah Chen bought my contract and set me free. Taught me ship repair, gave me a life. She said the only way to fight the darkness was to be someone's light. And you want to be mine? I want to give you a choice." Verk gestured around the hangar. "I run a good business here. Ships come from all over the sector. I make enough to keep this place running and feed 4 very hungry mouths. But the kids, they need more than I can give them. They need someone who can teach them language, culture, help them understand who they are. Felixians raise their young communally. I'm just one person." "You want me to help raise alien orphans," Akim said slowly. "I'm asking if you'd like to stay, as a partner." "Equal shares in the business, equal say in how we raise the kids," Verk met her eyes. "I know what it's like to be thrown away." "So do they. Maybe together we can build something better." Stardust, the smallest cub after Nebula, padded over and pressed against Akim's leg, fur shifting to a hopeful blue. Comet and Nova followed, creating a small pile of purring, crystalline whiskered affection around her feet. Akim thought about her parents, who'd valued her only for her womb. She thought about the auction block, the leering buyers, the future she'd seen stretching before her. Then she looked at Verk, this grease-stained mechanic who'd emptied his savings to free a stranger, and at 4 cubs who'd lost everything but somehow still had hope enough to trust. "I can't have children," she said quietly. "Neither can I," Verk replied. "Good thing we've already got 4. For the first time in months, Akim smiled. She knelt down, letting the cubs swarm over her, their purrs resonating in her bones. "I'll need to learn Felixian customs. their language, how to care for them properly. We'll figure it out together. Verk extended his hand. Partners? Akim took it. His grip was strong, calloused from honest work and steady. Partners. That night, as Akim settled into her new quarters, her own space chosen freely, she heard the cubs purring from their nest in the corner. Through the wall, she could hear Verk humming as he worked on a ship hull. It wasn't the life she'd imagined. It was better, because she'd learned something important. Family wasn't about blood or biology. It was about who stayed when the world said you were worthless. It was about building something beautiful from broken pieces. It was about being someone's light in the darkness. And for the first time since the sterility diagnosis, Akim felt like she belonged.